Good morning, friends. Happy 10K day. We are here bright and early again for another race. Another day, another race. We are the Slacker basketball team today. And at least it's a cool, like a heat-approved outfit. Shouldn't overheat us today for a 10K, which is good. Because some of the other costumes we've done certainly are not built for the heat. But today should not be one of those days. So, yeah, we'll head in here and get this party started. So we'll see you in a little bit.
They want to care about this. 3, 2, 1, go!
Well, hello friends, welcome back. Happy post 10K day. Just got back to the room, closed the parking lot down, of course, on the last buzz out. But anyways, besides that, having a great time at another Run Disney weekend. 10K, Hercules themed, of course. Here is that medal here. As you can see, if you can, the kind of chain is what holds the ribbon. Gotta say I'm concerned that may break, but hey, whatever. 10K overall, definitely warm, but I thought a little bit better, not by much, but a little bit better than yesterday at the 5K. Had a slight breeze. So there's that. Humidity was roughly the same though. Tomorrow will be the big kind of question mark. Longer race, obviously. It's supposed to be, again, warm. I did a collective group costume with the Ox and Spoon crew. Slacker basketball. More on that later, of course, or previously in this video, since this is the recap. However, I did want to go. I did not start with them. I started in a B with a friend, and character-wise, lines seemed very long today. We skipped. The first one was Mirabelle from Encanto. Skipped her. Next was Meg from Hercules. Of course, skipped her. Again, very seemed long. Believe I'm forgetting somebody, but we stopped. First one I stopped for was Esmeralda and Clopin from Hunchback of Notre Dame. Stopped for them, wasn't too bad. Then went to Pain and Panic from Hercules. That was long. That ended up being our second mile of the 10K. It ended up being 30 minutes. Then off to Robin Hood, I believe was next. Yep. And backstage at EPCOT, skipped him, and then went to Hades in EPCOT. Hades was a very long line, but did wait for him, and that probably was a good 20 to 25 minute wait for sure. He was in that little alcove between the UK and Canada, where the international or world showplace is, and that's where he was meeting, but the line when we got in was back into Canada by kind of where that the merchandise cart and whatnot is. So, and I heard it even got longer from there. So did that. Went through around the EPCOT resorts. Mickey and Minnie were out on the boardwalk. Did skip them. That line was very long as well. But then next, just as you were leaving the boardwalk, was Lilo and Stitch were switching out. It was Stitch when we went up, and that was probably about a 10-minute wait, so not terrible. So got Stitch, and that was the last one for us as we headed out and finished the 10K through EPCOT. Yeah, not too crazy. Of course, saw a lot of people on course, pre, post race, all that fun stuff. One more to go. Thankfully, only, in air quotes, only a 10-miler. A half marathon would probably be a bit much in the heat, and definitely not a full marathon. But excited for wrapping up this Run Disney season. It's been a great weekend so far. A couple more days left for me, and then it's looking forward to the 2025-26 season. So we'll see you then.